Hey folks, Vinny here again. I know you probably have a flower or vegetable you've bought the seed packet for, that you've always wanted to try growing, but you never had the opportunity to do so. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the unique varieties of vegetables and flowers I would like trying to grow this year. Hopefully this will help you find the inspiration to actually open up that seed packet. So let's get into it.
GreensandMachines.com.
So first on my list is a unique flower, or grain depending on how you use it. It's called Amaranth. Now this plant is unique that it grows kind of a leafy shrub, which then grows cluster-like flowers. This is how the seeds are harvested from it. Not only is nearly every part of this plant edible, but the flowers it grows are very cool to look at. Just look at this long red rope. It's very appealing to the eye. This plant does grow kind of big, anywhere from 3 to 5 feet tall, so it'd be best if you were to plant that in soil or a big container. Now what would be cool is if I could fit that in my hydroponic garden. Then I could mimic the hanging gardens of Babylon, or some pyramid in Tenochtitlan with all the red flowers hanging down the side of it. Let's talk about a new sunflower variety I just bought. This one is called Moonwalker. According to the seed packet I have here, this one's supposed to grow anywhere from 5 to 6 feet tall and bloom with whitish yellow heads. Yes, you heard that right, heads. I always like these multiple head sunflowers as more blooms are better, at least in my opinion. Now why this variety in particular? I believe when I was watching Nick's allotment diary and his sunflower challenge, this was one of the varieties that actually won one of the challenges. The flower grew 3 heads or so on a single branch, and they all appeared to be fused into one. It had to be one of the coolest sunflowers I had seen. So now that I have these seeds, I can grow my own. Now normally I plug this vegetable in every video I do, but this variety I have not touched yet. It happens to be called Lacinato Kale, or it's also known as dinosaur kale. Now compared to the standard varieties of kale I grow, this one grows very long and slender leaves. Very unique. And much like the other varieties of kale, this one will survive the extreme cold. It's time to broaden my outlook on kale. Let's talk about a plant I have attempted growing, but the results were less than adequate. That would be this white bush scallop squash. Compared to the normal zucchini you see that are elongated and either green or yellow, this squash plant grows white, round-shaped zucchini. Now why do I like this variety in particular? I think the shape is pretty unique, and these taste good if you slice them up the long way to cook them. Why do I want to grow them again? The last time I tried, the plant did pretty well. Although harsh heat and maybe some watering neglect, the plant didn't do well and only produced one miserable looking squash during its life. You can see why I want to try again with this plant. The next crop is a vegetable that has been recommended by several other channels on YouTube as a great little crop. It's called French breakfast radish. Every time I see radishes recommended, it's always this variety. Compared to the typical cherry radish, these grow a bit more cylindrical. And because of that, these are a lot easier to slice up for eating. So why do I, someone who doesn't like growing or much less eating radishes, want to grow them? Well, if I grew some successfully, of course I'd want to eat them. They fit easily into small containers, and they grow really fast. It only takes a month or so until harvest. It's pretty easy to create a constant stream of radishes over the growing season. And last, let's talk about an herb, oregano. Now believe it or not, I have not grown oregano. It's a very common herb that grows lots of little leaves, kind of like basil. Now you ask, why do I want to grow it now? I started to use dried oregano as a seasoning on the french fries I make with the air fryer I've got. And I like to grow my own oregano for the seasoning purposes. And I guess I could also use it with homemade pizzas too. Now that I've named off some of the vegetables I'd like to attempt growing this year, have you got any plants you've always wanted to try growing? Leave a comment below. Also check out the description of this vid for links to some of the seed packets you may have seen in this video. If you want to check out any of our other gardening videos, click one of the vids or playlists in this end screen. We'll see you in the next video.